Hi, Donna Caputo here, and I'd like to show you something. This is a 2003 Pontiac Grand Am. My husband and I bought this car 6 years ago for a very specific purpose, our 16-year-old son. Now, how did we end up with this car? We developed a set of requirements, and we evaluated our options based on them. Obviously, having a steering wheel and four tires is sort of what you expect when you get a car. We had some very specific requirements in mind, and I'd like to share them with you today. They included airbags for safety, 4 cylinders for lack of speed, decent gas mileage for the 20-mile each way trip my son would drive to high school, yes, 40 miles a day, lack of coolness, sorry son, affordability, and finally something I like to call insurability. And anyone who has a 16-year-old son who's learning to drive or getting a license will know what I'm talking about. We gave these requirements to our friend at the car dealership, and he helped us evaluate our options, and we picked a car. Now, my son drove this car for 2 years when he was in high school, and then my daughter drove it for 2 years when she was in high school. She loved it. And then my son took it up the road to Gainesville, Florida, and drove it for a couple of years at the University of Florida. And now the car is in my driveway. And the son that we bought the car for is in Nashville, Tennessee. So why is the car in my driveway? Good question. Easy answer. The car no longer meets the requirements. So now, before you think that my son is bossy or demanding, it was my idea that the car not go to Nashville, because it's not about the car being in Nashville where he's going to need a car. It's about the car getting to Nashville. There's a big requirement attached to the car for Nashville that didn't used to be associated with this car, the drive the kid to high school car. And that's the car needs to go a long way on the highway. 200 miles between Tampa and Gainesville was about as far as this car needed to go on the highway. 10 hours between Tampa and Nashville is just too long. It's not what the car should be asked to do. So what's he driving? He's driving my car. We traded cars for a year. So this Pontiac Grand Am is the car I'm driving to Publix or leaving at the airport when I travel to see my clients. Am I happy about that? Well, you know what? I work in a home office. I don't go very many places without my husband, and we have a car. So it really does meet my requirements. If we use my car story as an analogy, sometimes our investments stop meeting our needs. We need to evaluate them from time to time. So if you wonder if your nonprofit organization needs a new fundraising system, well, I can tell you that you shouldn't get one because the guy down the street got one. You need to understand the objectives and the programs and the goals that the system is going to help you achieve. And you need to start by assessing how your current system is doing against all that. So let's say your major gift fundraising program allows donors to select multiple designations for their gifts, and you're finding that your system can't really provide the type of reporting you need. Well, don't feel bad. Maybe when you implemented your system 5 or 10 years ago, you weren't doing this kind of major gift fundraising. But now that you are, you're struggling to make it work. That just means your requirements have changed, and maybe it is the time to look for a new system. But if you do, you're not going to look for a system that will track pledges or that will allow for a campaign code. That's like looking for a car with a steering wheel. You want to capture and report the overall giving for your campaign, but what if your campaign has 3 sub-campaigns? What if you sometimes need to look at them together and you sometimes need to look at them separately? The requirement is not that you can put a campaign code on a gift. The requirement is not that you can record a pledge. The requirement goes to the use case, and the use case illuminates the complexity of the scenario. That's what you need to evaluate. Systems are going to handle our complexities in many different ways. Be specific in defining your requirements, and you'll know when it's time to look, and you'll know when you've picked the right system. And in the meantime, if anyone is looking for a 2003 Pontiac Grand Am, have I got the car for you. Thanks for watching. So long. Are you going to bark? Please don't bark now. Louie, don't bark. Don't bark. Don't bark, Lou. Obviously, having a steering wheel and a set of 4 tires kind of goes without saying. We had some very specific requirements that we needed to put on our list. I like to share them with you. Oh, come on! Stop it! Stop it!